Welcome back to this week's edition of the War Cry with Miranda
and Miranda.
On this week's episode, we'll cover everything that's going on during the week of October 29th, plus a few other things you want to know.
Here's this week's schedule. Today, Academic Bowl has a meet at Northgate. National Honor Society induction ceremony was moved to Tuesday, the 30th. Friday, the middle school is having a scrimmage game. At home, Friday is also a football game against Bremen at Bremen, so go out and support your Braves.
Now over to our reporters, Elena McClain with Coach Barron and Selena Creed with Miss O'Reilly.
I'm Elena McQuaid and I'm here with Coach Barron, our head football coach. So, Coach Barron, how proud were you of the team from the Callaway game?
Just so proud of their effort. They were such a resilient bunch Friday night. There was a lot of adversity they had to overcome, and it just kind of never fazed them. Just super proud of how hard they played for 4 quarters.
What do you expect from the team as you move forward in the season towards the region championship?
Every week it's just about understanding the process, and I know coaches talk about it, but like we're Lamar County this week. It's not about playing Lamar County, about what can we do to get better as a football team. So every day, work to get better and better. We started off the year pretty slow. We had high expectations and those things, and we kind of thought the success would just come that easy and it'd be there. And we got humble, so we had to go back to work and realize that there's a lot of work and a lot of stuff's got to be done. So I'm hoping that we have learned from our mistakes and we remain humble and we keep working and to get better every day.
Have there been any standout players or starting out players that have stood out to you?
When you're having a bunch, we do have a talented bunch of kids, so there's lots of guys that stand out, and each week it's like it's a different kid that shines, and really been pleased with the way Elijah's developed a quarterback throughout the year. We've always had high expectations of him, but he was 3 years behind Emory, and so he didn't get a lot of reps, but seeing him, the more playing time he gets, the more comfortable he's gotten. He's just really progressed in a good way for us.
All right, what do you expect from the team when you go to play Bremen in a couple of weeks?
Well, I expect, to be a very similar game to the Callaway game. It's an extremely talented football team that we're going to play, and it's going to be, are we resilient? Can we handle adversity? You got to keep just plugging, keep chopping, and, working to get better and better, as the game goes on. Well, you can cut that. Ask that question.
What do you expect from the team as you go to play Bremen?
I expect another hard-fought game. Bremen is very talented. Their game with Callaway was extremely close and could have gone either way, just like ours could have. So, it's going to be a tough challenge for us. I expect our kids to take that same mindset, to get ready for 4 quarters of a hard-fought battle and being resilient and just keep moving forward, getting up even when things aren't going your way. You don't put your head down, you just keep plugging it. And it'll be very similar to the Callaway game.
All right. Thanks, Coach Barron.
Thank you, guys.
I'm Selena Creed. I'm here with Miss O'Reilly, who coaches cross country. If you could recap the season, what would you say?
So this season was different than previous ones. We've had 2 senior runners that have run all 4 years, but the rest of them are first-year runners. So we were dealing with basically new athletes that we'd never worked with before. So that was very different.
If you could recognize one athlete, who would it be and why?
So consistently, Annie Bradley, she does marching band and she rides horses and she does cross country with us, and she put in a lot of work outside of her time to be able to compete and do well. And last Tuesday she is actually going to advance to state, so she'll be competing in state.
What made this season different than prior seasons?
Well, as I stated, we have a lot of new athletes, but we're hoping for them to return and have more athletes so that we can grow, but we had a lot of interest in the team.
What are you going to do different next season?
Next season, we will probably start having more bonding times like after practice. So this season we did ice cream like once a month, and it was fun to be able to, after run 5, 6, 7 miles, be able to just sit around and chat and get to know each other, and we want to do more of that next season.
Thanks, Ms. O'Reilly. Thanks, guys.
Now let's watch Ethan Sorrentino Brandon Dixon, and Michael Payton with our segments, Lunch Talk, Conspiracy Theories, and Weather.
Hey guys, it's Ethan Sorrentino with this week's Lunch Talk, but it's quite possibly the last one. So remember guys, if y'all see me around in the hallway, give me an idea to fill in the place for the next segment. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Oh yeah. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, definitely.
And why is that?
Because I am a very spiritual person. I believe that I have my reasons.
Alright, that works for me. What is y'all's worst fear?
Pit bulls and parolees.
Hey Austin, my man. Do you still believe in trick-or-treating?
Depends. If it's a 40-year-old or grown man, it's kind of weird.
Alright, that works. Do you usually scare people during Halloween, or do you get scared?
Get scared? Alright.
My name's Ethan, and that's this week's fastest work ride we've ever done. Lunch Talk. Well.
Hey guys, it's your weatherman, Ethan Sorrentino, and this week's weather, it's gonna be Monday, mostly sunny. Tuesday, it's gonna be completely sunny. And the Spooktober! Yeah, Spooktober. It's gonna be mostly sunny. Thursday, it's gonna be showers. And Friday, it's gonna be scattered thunderstorms all throughout the day. And the high of this week is gonna be 73 and the low is 40. So remember guys, if y'all are driving, wear your seatbelt because you don't want to end up like me, and be safe.
Good morning again, lads. It's time for your least favorite segment of the Warcry Conspiracy Theories with me and this mad lad,
Brandon. And this week I have to tell you about how Disneyland is kidnapping your kids from Disney World, especially on Halloween, to sell them to the CIA so they can get brainwashed to kill commies. There's not a single report of a child being abducted from Disney World, yet there's a lot of child disappearances from the neighboring counties. Disneyland offers you a false sense of security with all its guards, cameras, and Mickey Mouse costumes. But little do you know that they're actually constantly hunting for subjects through these cameras and guards, handpicking who would be the most easily mentally destroyed. So that way the CIA can completely brainwash them, and the MK Ultra program, which has been proven to have been in use since 1986. Basically they just feed them LSD and make them watch a lot of videos about hating commies, and they'll really hate commies. This has been a very long tradition, and Disney World is probably one of the best in the world at abducting children. The entire Disneyland has been run by slave children since its foundation, until 2011, when the CIA finally built a nuclear reactor under Disney World. And that's why people get cancer from going to Disney World. The easiest time for this is during Halloween, as it's very easily to take kids from the public, as there's costumes and all kinds of shenanigans constantly going around in public. And that way, there's a lot going on, so they can just snatch them and go, and no one knows who they are. The police in Orlando is constantly paid off by Disney and the CIA, and they pass all these disappearances off to other counties nearby. This is where the majority of all the CIA MK Ultra recruits come from, and the main thing they're behind is all these false flag operations and shadow government operations, such as, like Iran-Contra and such. So all I can say is stay safe and stay away from Mickey Mouse. Michael, what do we got?
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is the kids' version of Saw. 4 out of the 5 kids on that trip died horribly, and the 5th one was paid off at the end so he wouldn't speak up about what he saw. First, we got the fat wad in the beginning, Augustus Gloop, who fell in the chocolate river and got sucked up the pipe. First, he has oxygen deprivation because he was trapped under the chocolate. Then, he had hearing damage because he was trapped in the glorified vacuum tube with all the roaring and stuff. Then, he got sucked away and trapped in the walls because you don't see any other chocolate pipes in the rest of the movie, so he got stuck in there and he had to die a slow, painful death from asphyxiation while everyone else was having a wonderful time sailing down the chocolate river. So yeah, he did. But that was just the beginning of it, even though it was horrible. Then we've got the little dipwad who ate the piece of chewing gum and then swelled up like a blueberry, who was supposedly full of juice. But I got news for you. You cannot be filled with 3 times your body weight in juice from a piece of chewing gum. It was blood. That's the only substance that'll make your skin turn purple like that. So in order to get all the blood out, they had to do bloodletting. But bloodletting, as centuries have proven, always harm or outright kill the person they're letting the blood from. So we're looking at necrosis with pounds and pounds of dead skin, screwed up limbs, which they had to take off, and all the stress of that was likely to kill her. So she did.
Don't eat gum from strangers.
Yeah, she did too, and it's even worse than with the Gloop kid. Then we've got the little girl who fell down the garbage chute trying to get the golden egg. She did too. You can hear in the last note of her song how she was still falling for seconds and seconds, which means she had to go at least 50 or 60 feet. That distance alone would easily kill her, but then her fat father jumps in after her, so
he's dead too.
Yeah, add that fall damage plus the damage of a 200-pound guy landing on you at the same speed, and she did. Even worse than the first 2. And then we got the TV kid who probably died in the worst way of all, drawing and quartering. He was shrunk down to the size of a few inches, so Willie gets the bright idea to stretch him out. But people aren't stretchy. We don't stretch. There's a torture that proves that. It's called drawing and quartering, where all your limbs are ripped off your body and you're left to bleed out and die. So he did, and it's even worse than with the first 3. And Charlie himself almost dies too. He was trapped in the fizzy lifting drinks room with his grandpa Joe, and they nearly got decapacitated by the giant fan in the middle of the room. If Joe hadn't got the bright idea to belch, they all would have been killed. But nope, they got to fall on down, and you get to see the happy ending where they all float up in the sky and they all live happily ever after. And Charlie has the factory and all that, but it was just a payoff so Charlie would shut up about what he'd seen. It was horrible.
Willy Wonka's a serial killer.
He is.
And that's all for this week, and y'all have a great Halloween.
Spooky.
That's all for this week's edition of the War Cry. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and remember,
It's a great day to make a play.